You are now listening to the What Now podcast with me, your host, E. Hey y'all, welcome back to the What Now podcast. I'm your host, E, and we are back for another episode. Thank you guys for coming back. I am so late. I got so tired and wrapped up with work today, and I was watching people stream live while playing games on Xbox and PlayStation. So I do apologize. I am so sorry. But it is what it is. We are back for another episode, and I am ready to get into it. So let's get into our first segment. Who's up next? All right. So for our segment, Who's up next? We have a POC Queer brand called SYRO. I think SYRO. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's a queer brand led by two Asian Americans. They are fabulous designers. I currently have a pair of their shoes. It's like a very cowboy-esque heel for queer individuals. And the shoes are nice. They're all heels, mostly boots, and they're fab. Like they have cowboy inspired boots, stripper boots. They previously sold some open toe sandal heels, which I'm so upset I was not able to get a pair. But they're a fabulous brand, and I love everything they stand for. So go check them out. They are SYRO on. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. SYRO on Instagram. It's SHOPSYRO. Shop SYRO. And the website is shopsyro.com. So I'll be putting all of their information in the podcast notes. So make sure you go check them out. All right. So before I even get into what we're going to be talking about today, let me say that I am so ready for winter to be over. Well, no, I'm lying. I don't want winter to be over. I just want a little warmer. I want some warmer days, because I'm trying to get outside. I'm trying to garden. I want my seeds to start sprouting and getting bigger. I need at least a warmer day. A day with like 65-degree weather. Can I get that? One day? I love the cold. Trust me, I truly do. But I just need one warmer day. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So let's get into our episode for today. For today's episode, I just wanted to talk about our elders in the Black community. Our elders, right? So I'm going to preface this. I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to say anything that will let you know specifically who and what I'm talking about, right? So at work, I have started this video series. If you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on TikTok, you already know what kind of video series I've created while at my current job. Okay. So I've created this video series. It's for Black History Month. I really it was put on my spirit to do it. I feel like I found my calling in a sense with everything that I've been doing so far in the past 3 years. I truly love what I do when it comes to content creation and just creating something and watching it manifest and watching it grow to where I know I want it to. And so I created this video series, and this year took it to another level. And so with that being said, there was one person that one of my supervisors wanted me to interview for the video series. I didn't know anything about the lady. She seemed cool in a sense, from what I was told. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's interview her. And so the day came, I think it was last week. The day came where it was time for me to interview her. I was running a little late, just probably a minute late, barely, because I was leaving a garden session that I was having with some of the high school students at one of the high schools that we have a garden with the other position that I'm in at another nonprofit. So I was trying to get to work on time, at least right on the time at the time that she was having her interview with me. And so I get there, I get set up, and mind you, it's through Zoom, so technical difficulties can happen at any moment. So I get set up, everything's working. I check the audio, I check my camera, everything is working. She texts me and let me know she's gonna be a few minutes late. Perfect, because that gives me more time to make sure everything is prepared for you, right? So I get, like I said, I get everything set up, everything is ready and prepared. So I'm just waiting for her. She logs on, and then I start to speak, but she can't hear me. Mind you, like I said, I already checked and made sure that everything was working and everything on my end was. So she couldn't hear me, and a few minutes went by me trying to check the sound, check my mic, make sure everything was working on my end. She still couldn't hear me. So I told her through the chat, and she called me that I was going to switch to my laptop to change computers to log in another way. And then on her end, she got a call talking to somebody, and it's like, I don't know if she knew that I could hear her or something, but when somebody says something and they're irritated, and my mama always says it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And as I'm trying to get my MacBook, because I was actually on my desktop at work with the Zoom, and I switched to my MacBook. And so as I'm switching to my MacBook, getting it started, it was moving kind of slow because it had just died. So I was trying to get it back on, turn it back on with the power. She's on her phone call, like a quick phone call, saying, "Yeah, he on the computer, his stuff messing up. He trying to get it back up." Sounding irritated, like I'm not prepared. Like, ma'am, I am prepared. First of all, like, don't treat me just because you think you're this big shot or whoever you think you are. Like, you talk down to people. Like, I hate people like that. That crap grinds my gears. You don't talk down. You know what? I'm gonna get into that. Let's hold off. Anyway, I'm gonna get into that because maybe she tried it, but I'm gonna get into it. So anyway, so I am getting my laptop on. Boom, boom, bam. Like 10 minutes go by. It was taking quite a long time to get it up and running. But anyway, I got it up and running. Mind you, you were late too to your interview. So I mean, we both late, right? I was there with the Zoom call open. You showed up late. My technical difficulties made the interview start even later. So I mean, I could say you were late too. So I mean, what's the issue? Anyway, so I finally get the Zoom open, and we have to do the phone call through. We have to do the interview both on Zoom and on my phone. Mind you, when I got the Zoom open on my MacBook, I specifically clicked record on Zoom. I know I did for a fact. I know I did. I remember clicking clicking the record button. I know I did. So once the Zoom interview was over, I clicked Zoom. I keep saying Zoom. I click the record button again to stop the recording. and I made it go to the local, where it says like local computer or local cloud storing area, and nothing showed up a few days later. Mind you, it takes hours for it to pop up, but when I tell you I looked hour after hour to see if it had loaded up, and there was no recording. And I was like, "Oh my god, are you serious, bro?" Cuz mind you, I did not want to have to interview her again. Truth be told, I did not want to interview her again because she really gives off energy like my aunt, one of my oldest aunt. She has that same energy. Is like very bossy and it's my way to highway. I know what I'm talking about. You kind of don't. I don't have time for that because yes, I respect you, but at the same time, you're not going to talk to me crazy, right? Like I can respect. Two things can be true. I can respect you, and at the same time, I can put you in your place and tell you you're not going to disrespect me. You're just not. That's not how it's going to go. So anyway, so I found out that nothing recorded, and I had to tell her that I do apologize. Sorry for your. I do appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to interview with me, and to meet me. But unfortunately, the software did not download our interview, and so if you have any future availability, I would love to have you on again. And again, sorry for this mishap, right? And so I get a response saying, that's why I told you last time to check your camera and everything and make sure it was working. Girl, when I tell you that after I got off the Zoom with her, after I hit stop recording and I said my goodbyes and closed off the Zoom, I checked both my MacBook and my desktop. I created another Zoom meeting, joined the Zoom meeting from both my desktop and my MacBook. And guess what? They were working. The mics were working. The sound was working. So obviously, if both the sound and mic on the MacBook and the desktop are working, that means that there was no technical difficulty on my end from you not being able to hear me. That means on your computer, on your end, you either did not have your mic on or you didn't have your volume up to where you could hear me in your settings. And I that brings me to my point of when people think they know so much and they try to make you feel like you don't know anything and try to belittle you. Because mind you, she said, oh, thank you. I love your little interview, your little podcast. I hate when people do that to your stuff. Something that you've created, something that you have toiled over, something that you have dreamed about doing, and people call it, oh, your little business. Oh, your little this, your little that. That is so belittling. No pun intended. That's so belittling to say that somebody's current business venture or career goals are little, because it's like you're demeaning their work and their passion, and that's so rude, and people don't take that into account. And the purpose of this episode is to just say, like, you can respect your elders. And I only bring that up because people during this time, Black History Month, people always say, especially during the video series that I'm doing, people have continued to say, you need to understand the people that have come before you. You need to know the shoulders you stand on. You need to look to your elders for guidance. You need to respect your elders. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we need to know who came before us. Yes, we need to know the work that was put in before us. Yes, we need to know how our communities, how our society has got to where it is. However, comma, you as an elder does not make you know more than me. You as an elder does not automatically put you at a higher degree than me in my walk, in my path, in my journey in life. Like, we have to get away from respecting our elders to a point where we don't tell them that what they're saying and what they're doing is detrimental to not only them but to us, and vice versa. Like I said before, I can respect you, and at the same time I can tell you when you're wrong and how you won't speak to me, how you won't treat me, because I've come to the realization since, I say since 2020, I've come to the realization in my own journey in life and throughout my own, like, talking to myself in my head and just being in my emotions, how I will not be uncomfortable in my own skin and let other people talk to me and treat me any kind of way. Like, I'm 28, almost 30 years old. I refuse to be that individual that we always see on TV or in real life, where they are a full grown ass adult and they continue to have other people treat them and talk to them in any kind of way, and they don't stand up for themselves. No, 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 no. You will not disrespect me, Miss Girl. You won't. What the hell I look like being almost 30 years old and having you walk over me? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's not how this is going to go. It's not going to go that way, mama. Okay? And on that note, sis, let's take a break. All right, sis, we back. I really had to get that off my chest because I've been like feeling that pressure like for days now, and I have to interview the same person again on next week, and I'm dreading it. Like I'm really dreading it because y'all don't know. I can't tell y'all so much, but politics are playing so much in this nonprofit. When your nonprofit gets to a certain height, politics plays so much in it because of the people you're trying to get funding from and the people that you're trying to partner with in order to continue the services in providing the services that you provide your community, right? And I hate when people forget the purpose of why you start something. I will never forget my supervisor when I was a AmeriCorps service member, Miss Brianna. Hey, Miss Brianna. She always instilled in us, what is your why? When you start something, what is your why for starting it? What is your purpose? Why are you even doing it, Miss Girl? And I have always kept that with me ever since 2016. So for the past 5 to 6 years, going on 6 years now, I've kept that in my heart and in the back of my head. When I start something or when I'm in the midst of it, why am I doing it? If I don't feel like I really want to do it and I don't feel like there's a purpose for me even being able to give my 100% and my all, there's no need for me to do it. I'm going to have to step away and step back. So for those listening for our What Now segment, remember your why. Remember, we got about 3 points. So the first point, remember your why. Whatever you're doing, whether that's makeup, photography, you're getting your bachelor's in whatever, whether that's a business degree, science degree, writing degree, film and tech, whatever degree, whatever business venture you're going for, whatever relationship you're trying to instill and form, what is the purpose? Why are you doing it? Please remember that, because if we could all remember that, then so much would not happen. So much trauma wouldn't happen. So many negative things would not happen and would not exist if we remember our why, especially when it comes to helping other people. Second point, if you have elders in your family and they think they know more than you, let them think that. But do not, and I repeat, do not let them override you. If you're a teenager and you live in your household with your parent, you got to do what you got to do to get by, to ignore them, whatever. What I learned with my mom, do what your parents say so they don't got to nag you and annoy you and irritate you. Just do what they're asking you to do. Do it right the first time and keep it pushing. That's all. But when you become an adult, when you're 18 and you're up there and you start to formulate your own opinions on things, your own outlook on things, voice your opinion, but you can still be respectful, but voice your opinion and let everybody know that they will not overrun you and they will not ruin your life, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And that goes for my people that are 30 years old listening to this and whatever age you are. Do not let people override you and overrun you in your life. Girl, the hell? Ooh. This is your life. This is your life. At the end of the day, when you are on your deathbed, if you get there, you have to be comfortable and be satiated with the decisions you made in your life. Okay. So, baby, forget all that. Do what you need to do for your well-being. Third point, and this is my last point for today's episode. All you people that think you know so much about stuff and say you're always busy. Girl, we're all busy. And we all know different stuff. Your time is not more precious than mine, and my time is not more precious than yours. We both have things to do. Baby, if I could go through a list of the things that I'm responsible for, let's do a quick list, okay? Let's do a quick list. I got time. So one, I help my mother oversee her personal Instagram, social media, the social media for the nonprofit, my mother's nonprofit, the social media for one of her other businesses. I oversee the social media for my job. That includes Facebook, newsletter, Instagram, Nextdoor postings, and YouTube. I am also the current social media specialist and the current youth coordinator. So those are two positions that I'm fulfilling at the same time, not quite getting what I'm supposed to be getting paid. So that's a whole nother conversation. I am also overseeing my own personal social media and my own business ventures. So that's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. That's multiple social media sites that I have to create content for, edit, post. Okay. All right. So I am seeing social media for over 5 separate entities. Okay. Over 5 separate entities. And that's also the newsletter for my mother's nonprofit. So that's creating content for almost 5 separate entities, editing content, and posting content on a regular basis as much as I can. And I'm also helping out an event that I'm helping out, which I will be letting you all know about soon. So I have a lot of things I'm doing, right? And I also write grants to make sure Project Great continues to flourish, while also emailing and contacting people and having meetings. So let's not act like Eric Williams is not busy, Miss Girl. Okay. Like, you having meetings and just meeting at your job don't compare to me. And what I do don't compare to you. Our two different busies are different. Like, girl. So let's not act like when somebody asks for you to do something and they're respectable of your time, and you see they're trying to be respectable of your time, don't act and say things like, oh, because you know my time is precious. Girl, we all know that. Miss Thing, we know. You don't got to say it. Girl. Anyway, I just had to get out of my chest because it's like y'all really be doing the most, and it comes mostly from our black community. Like, y'all have been so much up these white people asses that y'all come to us and act so high and mighty, like we don't have jobs and a career and goals and aspirations too. It's like, girl, who dropped you on your head? Whew. Anyway, I hope y'all take those 3 points and apply them to your life, to the best of your ability, because it's getting crazy out here. I hope you're able to help take care of your mental health. Get a hobby, sis. Get a hobby. Go skating, swimming, bike riding, tennis, crocheting, writing music, yoga, hiking. What else is there to do as a hobby? Get a hobby. Please get a hobby. Because the rate at which we're going in life, y'all making people reach their breaking point. You really are. I haven't reached mine. I pray I don't ever reach mine, because when you reach your breaking point, things bad happen. Things that are bad happen. And I'm not trying to go there. So yeah. That has been today's episode, girl. I hope you were able to kiki with me for this episode. You can follow the What Now Podcast on Instagram and YouTube at The What Now Podcast. And our handle is TWN Podcasts. And you can follow me personally, but not in real life, on Instagram, TikTok, and Depop, which my handle is House of Ebon. That is HAUSOFEBON. House of Ebon. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate you guys listening. And have a great day. Bye, y'all.